Hi, Bruno Jr. here. Our podcast, Busting Addiction and Myths, is sponsored by SafeHouseRehab.com. SafeHouse believes that traditional treatments fall short of the needs of clients who face the modern problems of addiction. Modern problems need modern solutions. Multiple addictions, multiple relapses, multiple triggers, and cheaper and more powerful street drugs set up unprecedented challenges facing treatment centers. What is needed is a more sophisticated approach, a better way forward. There are 3 reasons to choose our progressive modern treatment program. 1, a more sophisticated intake process. 2, technology proven to enhance recovery. And 3, the most robust aftercare program in our sector. To learn more, visit us at safehouserehab.com. Okay, so this is episode 9, season 11. What you probably didn't know about alcoholism. What the experts politely call AUD, alcohol use disorder, is what I call alcoholism, which is, in its most simple form, uncontrolled drinking due to physical and emotional dependence and preoccupation with alcohol. Most of what I quote here is found at soberlink.com. A few facts you probably did not know. Number 1, AUD, alcohol use disorder or alcoholism, is more common than you think. Alcohol is the most widely abused drug. Yes, it's classified as a drug, a depressant, in the United States. According to a recent survey by the National Institutes of Health, the NIH, more than 14.5 million persons have been diagnosed with AUD. This is consistent with another survey by the NIAAA. But only 7.2% of these people, or a little more than 1 million people, have received any treatment whatsoever. Number 2, that is just scratching the surface of a huge problem that brings with it disease, death, and destruction of family and society. 3, it is probably not surprising to you that almost twice as many men have alcohol use disorder, AUD, as do women. 9 million men compared to 5.5 million women. Number 4, binge drinking, although highly risky to the abusers and the rest of us, is not considered alcoholism or AUD. That's strange, but it's true. That is not only because it has not yet been habituated and is not counted in the criteria that would qualify one as having AUD. And what is binge drinking as defined by the NIH? Well, it's enough alcohol to drive the alcohol content in the blood to 0.08% or higher in one sitting. And that means about 5 drinks for men and 4 for women. And here are some alarming truths associated with those facts. It is reported that 38 million adults, or about 15% of the adult population, binge drink an average of 7 drinks 4 times a month or more. The incidence is not confined to college kids by any means, as the numbers hold up until the age of 45. You must agree with me that a good chunk of these binge drinkers are on their way or already are full-blown alcoholics. Remember that 14.5 million truly alcoholic people I mentioned earlier? Do they add to the 38 million, or are they just part of the binge count, or a bit of both? I don't know the answer. My guess is it's a bit of both. The NIH says that most, let's say 60% of binge drinkers are not alcoholic. But I say they're still dangerous, right? At the very worst, we must have 45 million or so dangerous drinkers out there, including the 2,200 who will die of alcohol poisoning this year, if the numbers hold up, and they will. 5, globally, because it is cheap, legal, and available in most countries, alcohol abuse is the leading risk factor in premature deaths, contributing to over 23% of deaths caused by liver cirrhosis, heart disease, tuberculosis, pancreatitis, and HIV/AIDS. 6, 10% of drinkers drink over 50% of the alcohol consumed in the U.S. To be part of the top 10%, which is quite an honor, you would have to drink 74 alcoholic drinks of 1 ounce a week every week of the year, or about 10 a day. Do we now understand how serious drinking is? Number 7, it's fatal. Over 88,000 Americans lose their lives due to alcohol each year, at an average of 30 years premature. Let's explain that a little bit. That simply means that had they not been drinking, they would have lived to the average life expectancy, but got sick and died 30 years earlier than they otherwise would have. Average age of death for alcoholics is 44.3. Average life expectancy for men is 74.4, and for women it's 80.1. 30 years stolen by alcohol. 8. A side fact. Over 200,000 youth went to the ER in 2019 due to injuries sustained as a result of alcohol abuse, usually as a result of their or someone else's drunk driving. There's 200,000 young people to the ER, not just to the doctor, not just to a clinic, not home, but to the ER. When you're in the emergency room, something is seriously wrong with you. 9. Alcohol and depression don't mix. Alcohol is in itself a depressant, and drinking more will just create more depression. Drinking alcohol while taking antidepressants can kill you. Withdrawing from sustained alcohol use can also kill you unless you go through medically supervised detox. Number 10. It's progressive. Left untreated, alcoholism always gets worse, never, ever better. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. The alcoholic will head toward an early death unless he or she gets the help they desperately need. That's some scary stuff. So, what did we learn about alcoholism today? Did you learn something you didn't know? Did we bust a myth or two? Let's take a look. Number 1. Alcohol may be the deadliest drug on the planet because it is easily available, cheap, and warps the mind at just 0.08% content in the blood. 2. A few alcoholics are the real troublemakers. 10% drink half the alcohol and likely kill more than 50% of the 18,000 people killed by drunk drivers every year. Number 3, an amazing 38 million people binge drink every month, an average of 4 times a month at 7 drinks or more each time out. And there isn't much difference by age or education. It seems to be an equal opportunity epidemic. 4, there's really only one bit of good news, and I'd like to end it there. Alcoholism is highly treatable, and most of its effects are reversible with the right treatment and a commitment by the alcoholic to become healthy again. Our podcast is sponsored by SafeHouseRehab.com, a modern approach to recovery. To learn more, visit us at SafeHouseRehab.com.